Seniors, this may surprise you, but not all vegetables are safe for you after 60. I know after decades of hearing "eat your vegetables," it sounds almost like heresy. But I've spent over 30 years working in senior nutrition, and I've seen it with my own eyes. People eating healthy and still struggling with joint pain, high blood pressure, bloating, and fatigue. The truth is, some vegetables, even the ones we've always thought of as healthy, can quietly harm aging bodies. They can worsen inflammation, spike blood sugar, and even mess with your thyroid or kidneys. So today, I want to share with you the 9 vegetables that seniors should avoid. Let's begin with nightshades, tomatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, and white potatoes. These veggies are rich in a chemical called solanine, which can worsen inflammation and joint stiffness, especially in people with arthritis or autoimmune diseases. I had a patient named Margaret, age 68, who was eating tomatoes and peppers daily in her morning omelette. She thought she was doing everything right, yet her fingers were stiff, and her knees ached constantly. When I asked her to remove nightshades for 3 weeks, the result was amazing. Her swelling dropped, her pain eased, and she said she could finally grip her teacup without wincing. The second vegetable to be wary of is corn. It's sweet, comforting, and often found in summer meals, but corn is extremely high in starch. Seniors often struggle with insulin sensitivity, and corn, especially cornmeal and corn syrup, can silently push blood glucose into dangerous zones. A 72-year-old man named Harold was having trouble lowering his blood sugar, despite eating what he believed was a clean diet. But when he cut out his regular servings of corn and replaced them with zucchini and greens, his blood sugar dropped from 121 to 96 in less than a month. That's the power of removing one vegetable. The third one on this list is white potatoes. They may be a comfort food staple, but for seniors, they're a blood sugar bomb. White potatoes are high on the glycemic index, meaning they convert rapidly to sugar in your bloodstream. They also fall under the nightshade category, adding to their inflammatory potential. Jenny, 65, was struggling to manage her blood pressure and her weight. All we did was swap her nightly mashed potatoes for mashed cauliflower, and within 6 weeks, her blood pressure came down enough that her doctor lowered her medication. Next, let's talk about canned vegetables, especially canned peas. They may seem like a quick way to add veggies to your diet, but most canned varieties are loaded with sodium and preservatives. High sodium intake raises blood pressure, strains the kidneys, and leads to water retention. 3 major concerns. Major concerns. I've seen seniors go from swollen ankles and pounding headaches to feeling clear and balanced. Even worse, many canned foods are lined with BPA, a chemical that disrupts hormones and may worsen blood sugar and bone loss in aging individuals. Fifth on the list is beets. Now, beets are often hailed as a superfood due to their ability to lower blood pressure and improve circulation. And that's true for many, but not for everyone. Beets are high in oxalates, which can bind to calcium and form kidney stones. For seniors with a history of stones, kidney issues, or gout. Saul, a 70-year-old man, I advised, had recurring kidney stones. When we removed beets and spinach from his diet, he remained stone-free for 2 years. So while beets are nutritious, they're not safe for everyone. Sixth, raw cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts. These veggies are packed with fiber and anti-cancer compounds, but raw, they're tough on the senior digestive system. They contain goitrogens, which can suppress thyroid function, a serious issue for older adults already battling hypothyroidism. They're also notorious for causing gas, bloating, and discomfort. Donna, age 66, thought she was eating healthy by consuming raw kale salads daily, but she felt bloated, foggy, and tired. Her TSH levels were elevated, indicating thyroid strain. We switched her to lightly steamed veggies, and within weeks, her energy returned, and her pants fit better. Number 7 is store-bought coleslaw and pre-made salad mixes. These might look healthy, but they're often loaded with sugar, soybean, that creamy coleslaw dressing. It's usually full of sugar and cheap oils that contribute to inflammation and weight gain. Even salad kits can include sugary glazes, bacon bits, and heavy dressings. One senior woman said her blood sugar spiked after eating what she thought was a healthy pre-packaged salad. Now she makes her own at home with olive oil, lemon, and fresh herbs. Her energy has skyrocketed. 8th on the list is celery, not because of its natural qualities, but because of how it's grown. Celery consistently ranks on the dirty dozen list of vegetables with the highest pesticide residues. Seniors are more vulnerable to pesticide exposure, especially when dealing with chronic illness. Washing celery thoroughly or buying organic can make a huge difference in reducing this hidden chemical load. And finally, number 9, mushrooms. While technically not a vegetable, they're often eaten like one. Mushrooms can be problematic for seniors with autoimmune diseases or mold sensitivities. Since mushrooms are fungi, they can contain trace mold spores or compounds that overstimulate the immune system. One of my clients with chronic fatigue noticed worsening brain fog after meals with mushrooms. Once we eliminated them, her clarity returned. So while mushrooms can be nutritious, they're not right for everyone, especially if you're sensitive to mold or have autoimmune issues. In conclusion, I'm not telling you to fear vegetables. I'm asking you to understand them. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to what we eat. The same vegetable that once nourished you in your 30s may now be contributing to joint pain, brain fog, or blood sugar spikes in your 60s and beyond. The key is to eat smart. Choose steamed vegetables over raw, opt for frozen over canned, rinse your produce thoroughly, and pay attention to how your body feels after eating. If a certain vegetable leaves you bloated, inflamed, or foggy, it may not be your friend anymore. You don't have to eat blindly, just because something is labeled healthy. What's healthy is what supports your body in your stage of life. If this video helped you, please subscribe to Health Hackers. Every week we break down honest, science-backed tips for aging vibrantly. And if you want a follow-up video on the 9 best vegetables that can actually heal inflammation and protect your joints, comment below. We're here to help you feel stronger, clearer, and more energized at every age.